Hi, love. While African Gen Z are questioning their elders, the average Gen Z in the rest of the world, including the African Gen Z, are asking why they can't live off 2,000 USD per month, why they need to have multiple jobs just to stay afloat. They are asking the important questions. Gen Z and millennials, why they are being paid from 9 to 5 but are being asked to come in early at an 8 a.m. meeting, but when their salary comes it's only from 9 to 5. When they ask those very important questions, they are told that they're not being a team player. Gen Z and millennials are working more. They are the most educated. They have multiple businesses. No one's just doing one thing. Everyone has some sort of side hustle. And when we talk about our grievances, we are told that we don't want to work. We are lazy. But then the very important question that's asked of why we are putting in so much work but getting nothing in return, that question never gets answered. Do Gen Z and millennials lack work ethic? Or does the workplace lack ethics? Did you see what I did there?
If you're a man, if you're single, right, no kids, you're not working at least 80 hours a week, the fact is that you're lazy.
99% of people have no excuse for not being able to make 10 grand a month.
Before I even go into my first point, I just want to point out that I am aware that I'm literally in camouflage right now. And the reason is that I'm having a medical condition on my face. It's just a whole lot of things happening with me. So this is how we are showing up on the internet today. This is my laugh. Oh my gosh, I look like an evil character. But anyway, let's continue. The grind culture almost reminds me of that mom that never wants to see her children relax, or that parent or even that boss, basically, where whenever they're around, or even that person, I guess, whenever they're around, you always have to look busy because they're gonna make you feel bad for just relaxing, as if we're not always busy, but the one time you are just laying back, they always, gotta look productive. You always gotta look productive in front of them. That's when someone says grind culture, that is what I think of. Grind culture, the false belief that to be considered valuable or worthy in a society, one must be productive. Grind culture almost lurks in the streets of capitalism, and most people don't even realize the damage that it has. I feel that as Gen Z and millennials, we really are aware of grind culture and how it's just not beneficial to anyone, really, except for the people in power, the ones that actually control the world. Yes, I am a conspiracy theorist. I am. Okay. We were sold a dream, right? We were told that you need to finish high school, you need to apply to college, get in college, after college, get a job, after getting a job, get a wife, get a house, and your life is perfect and you get to just do the same things for the next 40 years or so and then retire and your life is good. That is how it used to be. But right now, not so much. It's not as easy as that. And the people that have done everything according to the perfect life. Oh yeah, I also can't speak. There's some words that I probably can pronounce, but bear with me, okay? So that has just not been the case for the majority of people. In fact, there is this girl. Let me just play the video.
This is the most humbled I've ever felt in my life. I'm literally holding resumes, a stack of them, so that I can go in person to places and say, are you guys hiring? It's honestly a little bit embarrassing because I'm literally applying for minimum wage jobs. This is not what I expected. I graduated college with 2 degrees in communications and acting. I speak 3 languages. This sucks. I just want to be a TikToker, if I'm being so for real with you.
She has all these degrees but can't get a job. She's looking for minimum wage jobs. And I was actually talking about this with a friend of mine who was in a similar situation where it's we really were sold a dream because I was told that there would be all these hot people, and as far as I can tell, I'm the best looking person here. I was told that once you get that degree, you are set for life, and look down on people that don't get the degree, the people that took the gap year for all their lives, and now then just homeless or something. So I'm gonna take the route of going to college because that will guarantee me a job. But then, as you can see, there's just so many people that have these degrees, and you might come in here and be like, yeah, because they are useless degrees, but there are people with finance degrees. You're always gonna need finance people in society, you know, all that kind of stuff, but they're just not getting the jobs. In fact, let me read an article written by Nick Morris from Forbes. He says the survey that he took found that 37% of former students regretted going to college given the amount of debt that they're in now. It also says with tuition fees, the cost of living inexorably rising, this year's U.S. college seniors graduated with an average debt of $37,000, while their UK counterparts, the picture is even bleaker with the debt in excess of $65,000. That is honestly that's a lot. I honestly never understood it when I was younger, when someone be like anti-university and just college in general. Like, I was like, how dare you? How dare you? But now seeing the actual results of what happens when you do get to college and you take a degree that is not in the job market, or you're just like in a country where your degree, you know, is not very valuable, if I should say. Like, I would always be so shocked, like, how dare you speak against the institutions, you know, something like that. But now just seeing the numbers is actually quite scary. It's a huge risk to take. And not only that, 30 years ago, having a degree was enough to secure a job that might begin a career spanning for decades. Today's job market is quite different. Having a degree no longer seen as a golden ticket into any job you fancy, but a given. Exactly. It's so wild out there, and it's so confusing as well, because it's like this job market that we're now in, you can have a degree and it not mean anything, but at the same time you see someone who is succeeding, but then they don't have a degree, but they have connections. It's almost like getting into the corporate side of things, or even the art side of things. You know, you just need connect. It's like the world is just running on connections and knowing somebody, because you watch someone tell you like how to get jobs and stuff like that, and they'll be like, but then networking, as if everyone has access to be in spaces where they can network. You know, I hate it when people say that. It's like, yeah, okay, thank you. You know, what happened to just submitting something and you just being picked because you are qualified for it, or you took an actual I don't know, but it's actually quite wild that it's just not a once-off thing, and a lot of the older generation can't fathom a world where a degree is not as worth as it used to be. They really cannot. That's funny, because we're being hired by them. They are the people in charge. So it's almost like, wait, so if that's not enough, what do you want? Because they expect you to have 5 years experience as soon as you get out of college. Like, how? That doesn't make sense. I was looking for internships and I would have needed to get experience. You know, I was like, how? What do you mean? It's actually quite scary, if you ask me. Oh, I have hiccups, damn it. I need to get water. Okay, so let's recap a little bit. One, I said that the dream, the perfect dream, was that you finish high school, done, easy, go to college. Now that's where we are, where we said the debt, no guarantee of actually getting a job. That's that. What happens after you get your job, right? You are supposed to buy a house. Now let's talk about housing situations pretty much everywhere, because I'm not American, but like I do like consume a lot of like American media. Like, who does not, right? But we're also going to add in a bit of African statistics. Like, it's hard everywhere to actually purchase a house that it was when our parents were buying houses. It reminds me of this meme where this little baby is lying down and there's a quote that says, me sleeping while I should have been buying a house in 2001. That's how I feel. Why was I not buying a house in 2001? Why did I not start YouTube when I was 8 years old in 2009? Why? So in America, to afford a medium-priced home for I'm just gonna say 400,000. For 400,000, Americans Americans need an annual income of roughly 160,000. However, the median household earns just 70,000 according to the Breakage Home Bay, and entry-level positions pay around half of that. To put that into context, houses prices have increased more than twice as fast as income since the turn of the millennium, and it's forcing young workers today to hold down not one but 3 or more jobs to keep up with the rising cost of living. So there you have it. The cost of living is just we should make a separate video about that, actually. But to those people that say that we don't work hard, we are working 3 jobs, 5 people are working so many jobs. If I just got a job right now, I'm already thinking like, how many hours can I fit in another job? I need to think of my YouTube channel as well, how I'm gonna fit that. Yes, exactly. We are working as much often as possible. There's no longer that 5-day work day, 2 weekends, 2 days off, during the weekend. Like, you are lucky if you can get even a weekend off. Let's read more statistics in South Africa. I am reading this from the Daily Investor. It's quite a long paragraph, so just bear with me. I don't know how to summarize. Anyway, but at the end of the day, things are just harder. Okay, so it says the value of the average house today was used and discounted back at the FNB index growth rate to determine the value of average house in previous years. The corresponding prime rate was then applied to calculate a specific monthly repayment for every scenario. The average house price in 2001, where I was born, was 200,000 and the prime rate was 15%. The monthly repayment would have been at 3,000 when the house was purchased. By 2013, the value of the same house increased to 900,000 rands. It would have been financed at a prime rate of 8% with a monthly repayment of 7 or 8,000 basically rands. 5 years later, the price increased to 1 million rands and the prime rate increased to 10%. The monthly repayment was 11,000 per month basically. However, the monthly repayments only tell part of the story. The average salary in South Africa should be considered to understand the house affordability. Bank Reserve Africa's take-home pay index showed that the average take-home salary in South Africa increased from 12,000 in February 2018 to 15,000 in February 2023. This means that the average monthly house repayment was lower than the average take-home pay in 2018. Fast forward 5 years, the average monthly house payment now exceeds the average take-home pay. This means that it's more difficult for the average South African to afford a house than 5 years ago. Really like that the article put in the average person in South Africa, and some of these numbers are definitely way higher than where I lived, or the South Africa that I know of, where I lived in a very I lived in a place where there was a high crime rate and a high disparity between the incomes of the rich and the poor. Here's a picture that I lived on the other side, okay? And also on my For You page, I see people coming online crying, people 25, 28 crying that they have this degree. They're in South Africa, they've been sitting at home for 5 years. They've not been able to get a job.
Nothing prepared me for the pain and uncertainty I'm feeling right now. Having to wake up every day and go to a call center, knowing fully well that had it not been for the high unemployment rate in South Africa, I would have been a candidate attorney. I have been so unlucky with getting articles ever since last year, to a point where I just decided to go to a call center. And I am not the first LLB graduate to go to a call center. I know a lot of people that have done that. And to be quite honest, guys, and this is basically just transparency for those that are starting out. This is not by any way trying to scare you guys, but there is this other side of LLB where most of us don't, get to be part of the big 5 law firms, and we're basically here. I don't know. I have been applying and I have been unsuccessful every single time. Not even a sight of an interview. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what's wrong with my CV. Maybe there's something wrong with my CV. But I desperately want to be a candidate attorney. I want to be a candidate attorney so bad, to a point where I'm willing to relocate to whatever province. I have invested so much time into my legal career. I'm literally on my 6th year, about literally my final year of masters, if God allows. But no sign of employment. The pain I feel and the way my heart gets so heavy whenever I have to wake up, get dressed, and go to a call center. Oh, it's the worker. I don't know. I really am hoping that something does come up for me, and I just want to know if I'm the only one that's in this situation, or if there's other graduates who also, are in the same situation as me, who are working at jobs they didn't study for, and want to, or waiting for that email to say congratulations, waiting for that. I'm not even getting response. I would have understood if maybe I'm getting rejection letters. Nothing, guys. Like, in rejection emails, I'm not getting anything, and it's so frustrating because the more I wake up and go to this call center, the more I literally want to give up on my dream. And like the only reason that even made me work at a call center was because I was like, you know what, it's December, I need to pay my bills. Like, my bills need to be paid, and literally I have no other choice. And I'm in this situation now. I am grateful because at least I'm able to pay my bills and eat. But I would really love if God would show himself this year, and if I could just get a job as a candidate attorney. It doesn't matter even if I earn 5,000 or 3.5. I just want to be a candidate attorney. I want to finish my articles. I desperately want to finish my articles.
Employment rate is just at its all-time highest, and it is not because the millennials and Gen Z and AMA 2000, as they call it, are just lazy. They don't want to do work. They want to just sit at home, I don't know, do whatever. That's just not the case anywhere in the world. We want to work. We want to go to university, have the university life, and be able to reap the fruits of it. It's not necessarily because we're lazy or anything like that. So again, we've talked about you get your high school, you get your degree, which that's difficult. Debt, or that a house, you can't buy a house, can't afford a house. Okay. Now, what's to get after? I think it's marriage or something like that. Okay, that's the topic for another day. But like for a lot of people, again, that's difficult. Now I was just wondering, like, yeah, people are getting married less, I think, nowadays. Yeah, but that's also different reasons. Not necessarily economy wise, but like there's a whole lot of things that go into that. But what my point is that this grind culture of just doing something is not really giving the results it said that it was gonna give. We did go to college, we did look for jobs, we tried to buy a house, but we can't. We simply just can't. There's just so many obstacles in our way that make the road difficult and not as simple as a storyline that just gets to have a happy ending. Most of us are either trying to pay our college debt by working jobs, that minimum wage job that we didn't think we'd ever get because of our college degrees, Yeah, in fact, there's this quote that I saw on LinkedIn. This lady was talking about hustle culture, and I just thought I wanted to share that with you guys. And purpose drove those choices, so did perception. I chose to do these things because I wanted to look more dedicated and driven than anyone else. However, the life I was choosing only created a never-ending cycle of stress, leaving me exhausted, irritable, overwhelmed, and I wasn't taking care of myself, and it was starting to impact my marriage. Okay, it goes on and on. But like, I just wanted to add that this hustle culture, or this grind culture that we are told to be a part of in order to make it. And I'm emphasizing on the grind culture because when these issues were raised that millennials and Gen Z are lazy, there were a whole bunch of people be like, we used to grind back in the day. Or you have this, coaches that come alive like, when you wake up, you need to already have $50,000. You always, if I'm gonna hang out with you, I need to know what I'm benefiting from this. Okay, I can't really imitate them, but like there's a whole lot of those coaches that come online and like always, you know, tell you that you're not doing enough. But it's like, have you touched grass? Go outside, you know. But anyway, that would just, I think that can just go into our next segment. The rich giving advice to the commoners. We are the commoners. The rich giving advice. Oh, oof.
Dead. Every generation. But I'm sorry, if you only want to work 4 hours, it's going to be harder for you to get a house.
Oh, and don't mention 4 days.
No, but I feel for everybody that feels this, but I'm sorry. We busted our behinds. We had to bust our behinds because we didn't have the option
Y'all gave
of going
us the housing
back.
crisis, though. But
listen, we had all kinds of stuff.
no, it's true. But the one thing I'd say is millennials are statistically the
You only get in debt when you don't understand the breakdown of your finances. When you make money, split it in half. Create a fucking account, call it the tax account. Put half of that there, so as you make money, you always put this money in the tax account. I never got to worry of giving the government their money, because that money's over there. I'm never gonna touch that money, because it's not mine. So now off of my half, I'm gonna take another half. This half is going over here. This half is for my next real estate investment. I'm only living off a quarter of my financial gain.
Whatever things that you're interested in, you just pursue.
Absolutely.
And it's just having the confidence and the freedom to know that you can do this. And the dedication and the passion. There's nothing that, obviously, this sounds crazy, but I really believe this. There's nothing that we can't do. Nothing. Anything that we put our mind to, that's how strong our minds are. Long as it's with the right intentions. Like, again, like I said, some people like fall in love with the announcement. So their mind is not on the success of said thing. It's on the announcement and showing people. On their love and passion of what they want to do is based on getting a look that makes people think we're equals.
Yes.
Whenever I see celebrities talking about finances, the first thing for me is to just go to the comments, because it's like, yeah, but we don't have $50 million, okay, to split it in half. Sorry, you know, we can't do that, mate. And it's so annoying because as someone who started making content creation while living with my parents, I remember giving advice. I don't know why the heck I was giving financial advice. I was like, tips if you want to save. Like, I used to make videos like that, you know. I was like 17, somewhere there. Tips if you want to save, you should always put a certain amount aside. Now that I'm actually in a household with a family, with my husband, what money aside? You know, it's so difficult to save when you are living like paycheck to paycheck. And when people just come online, celebrities, these people with millions who don't do anything to help the community. Anyway, when they come on here and be like, yeah, just save, you know, just, you know, have an investment, have 4 bank accounts, you know, with your wife too. Like, we don't have the money to put in those accounts, Steve Harvey. I'm sorry. Have you touched grass outside? And what's weird is that these celebrities, like some of them have come from like humble beginnings. They were ordinary people, and they will be like, yeah, I had my last dollar, you know, before I became a mega superstar. But it's like, if you had your last dollar, so you know how it feels to not have anything. So why are you acting as if your situation is a unique situation? You are the exception of the rule. How do you generalize everyone? Like, you guys don't want to work anymore, you need to work, you know, like, actually, if everybody could just work, wouldn't everybody be millionaires by now? Like, if it was so easy. Oof, you are about to get me preaching. That is the problem. Yeah, that's we don't want to get there, right? So it's not only just the celebrities that piss me off, it's also these coaches, the rise of coaches, MLMs, you know, okay, not really them, but like the coaches. Are you struggling to get a job? Do you want to make extra money without putting in any work? This will only take 5 minutes of your day. This is what I've done to be able to achieve this amount of money. if you are feeling like you can't do anything in your life, you need to get up early and do this and this and that. And if you want to learn how I was able to achieve 50 million plus in 1 year at only 25 years old, you need to click in my link in the description, and then I will show you how. Yeah. Okay. Like, am I the only one that's tired of that? And those people, whenever someone who is a normal person comes online and says, I am struggling to get a job, they will be like, because you are not putting in the work ethic. Wait, didn't I just work a 40-hour shift? Okay, not 40-hour shift, but 40 hours a week? Or was that another person that looks exactly like me? Oh my goodness. Also, those coaches, the only way they make money is by selling you courses. Exactly. I thought, it's so easy to do. It's like one of the easiest ways to make money. I can come on here, having achieved, gaining some followers, on gaining some subscribers. Thank you so much if you're new here. Hi, my name is Tanya, and I make video essays as an African babe. That's me. If you want to get 10k subscribers in 15 days, go down in the description and buy my course. What can I possibly be teaching you about? The only reason I'm here is by the grace of God, period. Like, I'm not talking about obvious things that you can actually learn and teach people and get money. I'm talking about some things are so generic, and people coming on here and like making people pay thousands of dollars for that course, but it's actually quite crazy. The last point that I want to make is that billionaires should not be millionaires, whatever it is, lucky people, nepo babies, all that kind of stuff, should not be giving any financial advice on anybody. Okay, don't tell us to work hard. Okay, excuse me. Don't tell us to work hard. That is actually a triggering word. Don't say that, because you wake up and everything is done for you. Okay, you have had to put down other people, you have had to exploit other people for you to reach that stage. So no, thank you, but no. Revolution, or at least that's what I would like to call it. I think that after there was a wave of people taking self-care more importantly. Like, I am more important than a job that's gonna replace me within hours of my passing. A lot of people came to that realization. In fact, in this article it says, perhaps the decline in work centrality was due to the reset of priorities after the pandemic. We were reminded that life might stop in an instant. Why spend so much time working? Right? And a lot more people are opting out to be their own boss and to work independently, having their own business. That just seems like a more easier route where you can, control yourself, because when you work in a company, you really are not in charge of yourself. You really have that pressure where it's like, if you are feeling sick, mental health included, you can't make the decision to take time off, and if you do, your job is gone. As the job market, again, it's a really tough one. So people have just come together and be like, you know what, I'm gonna put myself first, because if I was to die, my boss would not lose sleep and will hire the next person. And I want to be important, and my health is important. So that is the route that we're going to take, and of which a lot of Gen Z and millennials are speaking out about that. But the other generations, not going to mention who, they don't like that. They don't like the fact that, what? Mental health? What is that? When back in my day, I could work 50 hours and yeah, but that's because you were getting compensated. You could actually buy a house. You could actually, when we see like, okay, why am I suffering when I'm not even able to get anything out of it? It's like, what is actually the point? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, really, what is the point? So at the end of the day, millennials and Gen Z wanting to, you know, have work boundaries, that doesn't make them not a team player. She's not a team player. She's not a team player. But it's crazy that we just have to play the game to be able to succeed in this life. Because it's like, I can come up in here and be like, you know, yeah. But like, get a job at corporate, and they'll be like, you need to do this. Like, what power do I have? So really, the people that have power are the people in charge, and people like me come on here and speak about these things in hopes that they see this or something like that, and I can speak to someone who's going to be a future, you know, boss to somebody, so that they can understand, so that they can implement this type of things in their workplaces. That's what I'm here for. Hi, welcome to Jerry's final thoughts. I will explain why we call it Jerry's final thoughts. Okay. Gen Z and millennials, most educated, period, point blank, period. Okay. Yet we cannot afford to do anything. We cannot afford a luxury lifestyle. And I feel like some people are chronically online to think that we have it easy, you know, or you see someone online, like I'm on a platform here online, someone be like, yeah, they must have it together, but like, no, that's not what it is. Or you see some TikToker being like, I have to work, you know how hard being online is, you know how hard being an influencer is. Be an influencer for one day and it'll be hard. And people see that and then they generalize the whole Gen Z and millennials. So it's like, no, that was her. Okay, the rest of us are actually, the reason I'm in this comment section is because you know, I'm struggling over here. So like the majority are really like struggling. So like, to those people that say that they're lazy, we are lazy. No, go touch grass. Okay, we're working. Don't have time. 7 days a week. Okay, although you should rest on the Sabbath day. Happy Sabbath if you're watching this on a Saturday. But yeah, I think that is all that I have for you in this video. Tell me what you guys think about this in the comments below. Hopefully I didn't scare you enough with my smile. But yeah, see you guys next time. I can't even kiss. Bye. That sounded so ugh. Bye.